Before we begin our story, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more, and drop a comment with your feedback on our stories. We'd love to hear your thoughts. The neon skyline of Neo Kioto flickered under twin moons, casting ethereal light over the sprawling metropolis. High above, a lone figure stood atop a steel spire. Hiro Takeda, last of the Cyber-Shogunate, adjusted his grip on the plasma katana at his waist. His neural implants filtered sensory data automatically, highlighting threats and mapping escape routes. Through enhanced eyes, he watched the city, the last bastion of humanity in a galaxy increasingly dominated by the Zarkesh Dominion. Master Kenji's voice echoed in his memory, "The blade is merely an extension of your will. It is your spirit that cuts, not the steel." Those lessons had been carved into his muscle memory through thousands of hours of practice, enhanced by neural accelerators and sensory amplifiers. A transmission crackled in his earpiece. "Takeda, they've landed near Sector 17. The War-born are here." The War-born, biomechanical warriors, their bodies a fusion of organic muscle and liquid metal. Each one a master of alien martial arts, their blades capable of slicing through titanium. Hiro leapt from the spire, his nanofiber cape billowing. He landed silently, observing his prey. Their leader, a towering brute with ceremonial scarification across his chest plates, paused and raised his head. Hiro recognized him from intelligence briefings, Zelthor, responsible for the fall of 3 human colonies. Dropping from his perch, Hiro landed before the War-born. His plasma katana ignited with a distinctive hiss. "Human, you stand alone against the Dominion. Submit, and your death will be honorable," Zelthor said. "Honor is earned in battle," Hiro replied, "not in surrender." Zelthor lunged, his sabers a whirl of molten light. Hiro parried, the clash sending cascading sparks across the battlefield. He countered with a swift riposte, aiming for the junction between Zelthor's shoulder and neck. The War-born commander twisted away. The other 2 War-born flanked Hiro, one wielding an electrical staff, the other a phase whip. Hiro's neural processors kicked into overdrive, time seeming to slow. With a single motion, he sidestepped a thrust and severed the phase whip. Sparks and ichor sprayed as the creature howled. The battle raged through city ruins. Hiro's body bore wounds, a burn across his shoulder, a deep cut along his ribs, but his spirit remained unbroken. One War-born fell, then another. "You fight with skill, Takeda," Zelthor acknowledged. "Few humans have lasted this long against me." "I'm not like other humans," Hiro replied. With a final, decisive strike, the heavenly dragon cut, Hiro's katana cleaved through Zelthor's chest. The War-born commander staggered, then collapsed. As dawn broke over Neo Kioto, Hiro sheathed his sword. The War-born had been defeated, for now. But the galaxy was vast, and more challengers would come. Underscore 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 The hidden sanctuary Hiro called home was nestled within an ancient shrine. Inside, a holographic projection flickered to life. Kenji, an AI companion modeled after Hiro's former master. "You're bleeding on my floor again," came a sardonic voice. "The War-born are getting better," Hiro replied, applying regenerative gel to his wounds. "Or perhaps you are getting slower," Kenji suggested. "Your execution of the Tsubeim Geishi was imprecise." Despite himself, Hiro smiled faintly. "I'll add it to tomorrow's training regimen." "The War-born rarely hunt in such small packs," Kenji noted. This was a probing attack. Hiro nodded grimly. "The Dominion is planning something bigger. I need information." The victory in Sector 17 was but a fleeting respite. Hiro moved through Neo Kyoto's lower levels to the broken circuit, an information hub disguised as a dive bar. "The ghost walks among us," greeted Mama Wires, the proprietor. "What brings the last shogun to my humble establishment?" "Information," Hiro replied. "The War-born attack in Sector 17. They were looking for something." Mama Wires leaned closer. "Word is, the Dominion's got a new weapon they're itching to test. Something called Void Reapers." Hiro's implants registered a spike in his heart rate. Void Reapers, massive, biomechanical constructs designed for urban pacification. City killers. "There's talk of a resistance movement," she added. "Led by a former JSDF captain named Aiko Nakamura." Before Hiro could respond, his earpiece buzzed. "Takeda, the Dominion is planning a full-scale assault on Neo Kyoto. They're bringing in the Void Reapers." "When?" "They're already at the spaceport." Hiro stood immediately. "I'll intercept them before they reach the city." The spaceport was eerily silent. Hiro's neural implants detected massive energy signatures ahead, the Void Reapers, towering 30 meters tall, with multiple limbs ending in various weapons. Taking down a Void Reaper alone was suicide, but he had no choice. He activated his cloaking device and leapt onto the nearest Reaper's back, driving his plasma katana into its armored shell. He activated his katana's overload function, sending a surge of plasma into the Reaper's core. The creature collapsed and exploded, sending Hiro tumbling across the ground. 2 more Reapers closed in. Hiro activated his neural accelerator to maximum, temporarily boosting his reflexes beyond safe limits. Time seemed to slow as he moved, anticipating the Reaper's attacks before they came. With precise strikes, he disabled both Reapers, though not without cost. His body ached, wounds reopening. As he surveyed the destruction, his neural implants detected a new signal, an encrypted transmission. "Impressive work, Shogun," came a female voice. "But there are more Reapers inbound, and you look like you could use some help." "Who is this?" "Captain Aiko Nakamura, Neo Kyoto Resistance. We need your help, and I think you need ours." "Where are you?" "Meet us at the old Shogunate temple in Sector 9. The temple was a relic of a bygone era, now crumbling." Hiro approached cautiously, this place holding memories of both training and tragedy. Inside the central chamber stood a holographic tactical display showing Neo Kyoto, with Dominion positions marked in red. At the center of this activity stood Captain Aiko Nakamura, her cybernetic arm gleaming, her face marked by a single cybernetic eye implant. "Shogun Takeda," she said. "Thank you for coming." "You were watching," Hiro stated. Aiko nodded. "We've uncovered a Dominion plot to activate a weapon called the Eclipse Cannon. If they succeed, it will destroy Neo Kioto and everything within a 100-mile radius." An older man stepped forward. "A quantum disruption device," he explained. "It creates a cascading failure in atomic bonds." "Dr. Hiroshi Tanaka," Aiko introduced him. "Former head of Neo Kioto Quantum Research." "Where is it?" Hiro asked. "Deep within the Dominion's fortress on the outskirts of the city," Aiko replied. "We have schematics and security protocols, but we can't get in alone. We need your skills." "Why me?" "None of us have your training or augmentations. The fortress's inner sanctum is guarded by war-born elites." Hiro was silent for a moment, consulting with Kenji. The threat was real, and the Resistance's plan had merit. "I'll help," he finally said. "This is about sending a message to the Dominion: humanity will not fall." The Dominion fortress was a towering monolith of black steel and glowing red veins. Hiro, Aiko, and the Resistance team approached under darkness. Aiko handed Hiro a data chip. "This will disable their security systems." Hiro inserted the chip into his wrist console. "We're in 18 minutes until systems reset." The team moved swiftly through the maze of corridors. Hiro took point, his katana drawn but powered down. His neural implants mapped their route, comparing the actual layout to the schematics they had studied. The deeper they went, the heavier the resistance became. Hiro's combat skills were pushed to their limits, his blade a blur as he carved a path forward. Aiko fought alongside him, her cybernetic arm transforming into various weapons as needed. The Ishikawa twins provided technical support, hacking security nodes and redirecting power flows. Finally, they reached the central chamber, where the Eclipse cannon was being assembled. The weapon was a massive construct of dark energy and alien technology, its core pulsating with malevolent light. "We need to destroy it," Hiro said. As the Resistance fighters retreated, Hiro activated his katana's overload function and plunged it into the cannon's core. The effect was immediate, a surge of chaotic energy. Hiro released his katana and sprinted for the exit. The fortress began to collapse, the living architecture reacting to the damage. They emerged into the night just as the fortress collapsed in a fiery blaze. Aiko stood beside him, watching the destruction. "That was impressive. Though I notice you lost your katana." Despite everything, Hiro felt the ghost of a smile touch his lips. "I have others." The collapse of the Dominion fortress sent shockwaves through Neo Kioto. The Resistance celebrated their victory, but Hiro remained vigilant. "We did it," Aiko said. "But at what cost?" "The cost of freedom is always high. But it's a price we must pay. The Dominion won't stop. They'll send more forces. We need to prepare. And we need allies," Hiro added, surprising himself with the plural. Aiko studied him. "There are others who oppose the Dominion. Scattered groups in the outlands, former military units, even some non-human species who've suffered under Dominion rule. I'm planning an expedition to the Outlands, she continued. There's someone there, a figure known only as the Wanderer, who's been helping refugees escape Dominion territory. When do we leave? Hiro asked. The expedition departed Neo Kioto using a modified all-terrain vehicle. The terrain grew increasingly hazardous, with radiation hotspots and unstable structures forcing frequent detours. As the day wore on, the landscape changed. Symbols appeared on walls and rock formations, geometric patterns that seemed to glow faintly when viewed from certain angles. They followed the symbols to a narrow ravine. At its end stood a structure of clearly non-human design, its architecture flowing and organic. As they approached, a figure emerged. The Wanderer was tall and slender, with features that seemed almost human but not quite. His skin had a subtle iridescence, while his eyes, entirely silver with no visible pupils, reflected the light like mirrors. Captain Nakamura, he greeted Aiko. And Shogun Takeda. I have been expecting you. The interior of the temple was a single chamber, its walls covered in geometric patterns. A small pool of luminescent liquid occupied the center, casting a soft blue light. You seek allies against the Dominion, the Wanderer stated. But alliances come at a price. What price? Hiro asked. The Dominion has taken something from me, a relic of immense power. Retrieve it, and I will lend you my aid. What kind of relic? Doctor. Tanaka asked. A crystalline matrix containing the collective knowledge of my people, the Wanderer replied. The Kelthari were not always wanderers. Once, we had a civilization that spanned stars. The Dominion destroyed it. The relic is our legacy, and potentially, your salvation. It contains information about Dominion weaknesses that could turn the tide of your war. Where is this relic? Aiko asked. Beneath the ruins of Tokyo Tower. The Dominion has established a research facility there. As they prepared to leave, the Wanderer approached Hiro privately. Shogun, the Ascension Protocol the Dominion seeks. It is real. Hiro's blood ran cold. How do you know about that? The Kelthari assisted your shogunate in its development. A collaboration between our peoples, before the Dominion found your world. The Wanderer's expression grew grave. If they obtain both the protocol and my people's relic, they will become unstoppable. Where is the protocol now? The Wanderer's silver eyes seemed to peer into Hiro's soul. Closer than you think, Shogun. Much closer than you think. The mission to retrieve the Kelthari relic was planned meticulously. The night before, Hiro found himself unable to meditate, troubled by the Wanderer's revelation about the Ascension Protocol. Troubled thoughts. Aiko asked, joining him on the temple roof. The Wanderer told me something concerning. About the Ascension Protocol. The Shogunate project the Dominion is searching for. Yes. He claims it's real, and that the Kelthari helped develop it. Hiro turned to face her. If the Dominion obtains both the protocol and the relic, then we're in even more trouble than we thought, Aiko finished. All the more reason to succeed tomorrow. The mission began at dawn. The facility's interior was pristine white corridors lined with transparent containment cells housing artifacts from dozens of worlds. In the center of a restricted section, floating in a stasis field, was a crystalline object about the size of a human fist. Its surface shifted with patterns of light that seemed to respond to their presence. "That's it," Hiro confirmed. As Aiko moved to deactivate the stasis field, an alarm blared. "Time to go," she said, securing the relic in a specialized container. They moved swiftly back through the facility, now encountering resistance. As they sped away, Dominion pursuit craft appeared. The chase was intense, with energy weapons fire streaking past their vehicle. "We need cover," Aiko shouted. As if in response, a massive energy discharge erupted from a nearby ridge, striking the lead pursuit craft. The Wanderer stood atop the ridge, his staff raised as he channeled power. "Go," his voice echoed in their minds. "I will delay them." By the time they reached Neo Kyoto's outer perimeter, the pursuit had been lost. The mission was a success, they had the relic. The Wanderer rejoined them at the temple several hours later. "You have succeeded," he said. "My people's legacy is safe." He placed his hand on the container. The relic inside responded, its patterns of light intensifying. "The Dominion is planning a full-scale assault on Neo Kyoto. They're bringing in their elite forces, including a Void Marshal." "How soon?" Hiro asked. 3 days. They're mobilizing from their orbital platform now." "Orbital platform?" "Doctor." Tanaka looked up sharply. "We had no intelligence suggesting they had established a permanent presence in orbit. It was constructed in secret," the Wanderer explained. "From there, they can deploy forces anywhere in the region within hours." "Then we need to strike first," Aiko said. "Hit them before they're fully mobilized." "With what?" one of the twins asked. "We don't have ships capable of reaching orbit." The relic contains specifications for Keltheri transport technology, matter transmission systems that could send a strike team directly to the platform. "Teleportation?" "Doctor." Tanaka's eyes widened. "I can only transport a small team, no more than 5 individuals." "I'll go," Hiro said. "As will I," Aiko added without hesitation. "I believe, Shogun Takeda, that you are the protocol," the Wanderer told Hiro privately. The final stage of the Shogunate's work was not a device but a person, a warrior whose consciousness could expand beyond normal human limitations. "If what you say is true," Hiro said slowly, "then why hasn't this ability manifested more clearly?" "Because it requires a catalyst, a key to unlock what has been dormant within you." The Wanderer gestured to the relic. "The Keltheri crystal matrix contains that key." The day of the orbital strike arrived. The Wanderer had prepared a circular chamber with intricate patterns drawn in luminescent material. As they took their positions, the Wanderer began channeling energy through his staff. The air seemed to thicken, while the patterns on the floor glowed with increasing intensity. There was a moment of disorientation, then solidity returned. Hiro found himself in a maintenance chamber on the Dominion orbital platform. They moved swiftly through the platform's corridors, eventually reaching the central control node, a massive chamber dominated by a holographic display of Earth, with Neo Kioto highlighted as a primary target. "There," the Wanderer whispered, indicating a pulsating core. "The platform's power source. The charges must be placed there." Before they could move, a new presence entered the chamber. Taller than the other Dominion officers, clad in armor that seemed to absorb light, the figure radiated menace. "Void Marshal," the Wanderer breathed. "We must not engage directly." Too late. The Void Marshal's head turned in their direction, his eyes, four glowing points of crimson light, narrowing. "Intruders," his voice resonated, a sound like grinding metal. "Secure the control node." Chaos erupted. The strike team was forced to abandon stealth, engaging directly as they fought their way toward the power core. The twins deployed countermeasures against the platform's security systems while preparing the destabilization charges. Hiro, Aiko, and the Wanderer formed a defensive perimeter around them. But the Void Marshal was a different category of threat entirely. He moved with impossible speed, his weapons, a pair of energy blades that seemed to cut through reality itself, devastating anything they touched. "The charges are set," one of the twins called out. 15 minutes to detonation." "Fall back to the extraction point," Aiko ordered. The Void Marshal surged forward, his blades aimed at the Wanderer. "Kelthari filth," he snarled. "Your kind should have been exterminated generations ago." The Wanderer met the attack with his staff. "Your dominion is built on the bones of better civilizations than your own. Today, that debt begins to be repaid." Hiro moved to assist, his katana intercepting the Void Marshal's second blade. The impact sent shockwaves up his arm. "Shogun Takeda," the Void Marshal's voice held recognition. "The last of a dead order. How fitting that you will die here, far from the world you failed to protect." "Neo Kioto still stands," Hiro replied. "And while it does, the Shogunate lives." The battle was the most challenging of Hiro's life. They were forced to retreat toward the extraction point as the platform began to shudder from the destabilization charge's initial effects. Just as the Wanderer's energy field began to expand around them, the Void Marshal burst into the chamber, his weapons still blazing with destructive power. "You will not escape," he declared, launching himself at the group. Hiro met the charge, his katana a blur. "Go," he shouted to the others. "Complete the extraction." "Not without you," Aiko replied, moving to his side. With a final, desperate maneuver, the falling leaf technique, Hiro created just enough separation to leap backward into the energy field. The Void Marshal lunged after him, but too late. The transmission had begun. When Hiro's consciousness reasserted itself, he found himself back in the temple chamber. "We did it," Aiko breathed. "The platform." "Detonation confirmed. The orbital platform has been destroyed." The Wanderer led Hiro to a private chamber where the Kelthari relic waited. "The process will not be easy," he warned. "Your consciousness will expand beyond normal human parameters." The Wanderer placed the relic in Hiro's hands, then positioned his own hands on either side of Hiro's head. Energy began to flow between them, the relic serving as a conduit. Hiro felt his perception shifting, expanding. His neural implants seemed to ignite with new connections. Images flashed before him, the Shogunate temple as it had been before the fall, Master Kenji working with Kelthari, the development of the neural technology that had become part of him. He saw the truth. He had not been merely the last graduate of the Shogunate. He had been its culmination, the final vessel for a project generations in the making. The Ascension Protocol was not a weapon but a state of being, a transcendence of normal human limitations. "You have seen," the Wanderer said simply when it was over. "Yes." Hiro's voice sounded strange to his own ears, resonating with new harmonics. "I understand now." The battle for Neo Kioto began at dawn, the sky filled with Dominion landing craft. The resistance had prepared well, using their knowledge of the city to create choke points and ambush zones. Hiro moved through the battlefield like a force of nature, his katana now enhanced with energy manipulation techniques. Where before he had been merely exceptional, now he was transcendent, a warrior operating on a level the Dominion had not anticipated. But the Void Marshal was a threat beyond ordinary Dominion forces. Their confrontation came in the heart of the city. The Void Marshal's armor had been upgraded, now incorporating energy-dampening technology specifically designed to counter Kelthari abilities. "Shogun Takeda," he greeted. "The last of the Shogunate. And now, the last of the Ascended. Your existence is an abomination. A human mind was never meant to contain such power." Hiro stood calmly. "Your Dominion fears what it cannot control. That is why you destroy diversity wherever you find it. But today, that ends." The battle reached its climax as the Void Marshal, growing desperate, channeled destructive energy through both his weapons and his armor, creating a vortex of power that threatened to consume everything around them. "If I cannot defeat you," he snarled, "then I will ensure nothing remains of this city for you to protect." Drawing on everything he had learned, Hiro expanded his consciousness to its fullest extent. He reached out not to attack the Void Marshal but to connect with him, to create a channel through which the building energy could flow. "What are you doing?" the Void Marshal demanded, his voice showing fear for the first time. "Breaking the cycle," Hiro replied. The connection established, Hiro began to draw the Void Marshal's energy into himself, redirecting it through the pathways the Wanderer had helped him develop. With a final, defiant roar, the Void Marshal disintegrated, his physical form unable to contain the forces he had unleashed. Without their commander, the Dominion forces fell into disarray. By nightfall, Neo Kioto had been secured. The Dominion had suffered its first major defeat on Earth. As Hiro stood on the temple roof once more, watching the city lights flicker against the darkness, he sensed Aiko's approach before he heard her. "The Dominion forces have withdrawn," she reported. "Neo Kioto is safe. For now," Hiro added. "They'll return, eventually. But they'll find us stronger when they do. You've changed, Shogun. The Ascension Protocol. It's more than just enhanced abilities, isn't it?" Hiro nodded. "It's a new way of perceiving reality. Of understanding the connections between all things." He turned to face her. "And it's shown me that what we're fighting for is more than just survival. It's the right to determine our own path, as individuals, as a species." "A worthy cause," Aiko agreed. "And one I'm proud to share with you." The Wanderer joined them, his silver eyes reflecting the city lights. The battle is won, but the war continues. The Dominion spans galaxies. This defeat, while significant, is but a beginning. Then we build on it, Hero said. We gather more allies, develop our abilities, take the fight to them where they don't expect it. As they stood together, looking out over the city they had defended, Hero felt a sense of purpose stronger than any he had known before. The shogunate was gone, but its legacy lived on through him. And now, that legacy would evolve into something new, a fusion of ancient wisdom and future potential, of human determination and alien insight. And Hiro Takeda, last of the Cyber-Shogun and first of the Ascended, would lead that challenge. Not alone, as he had once believed was his destiny, but alongside allies who shared his vision of a future free from Dominion control.